All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chid from Goon at Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time, it is Eagle Eye, the transfer rumor show, where I talk to you about rumors, news surrounding Arsenal. This is how we do. We are live. We are on time. I'm getting good at this time thing, aren't I? I'm getting good at this time thing. I'm setting up nice and early. No drama. I'm getting good at this time thing. So I'm just checking something out because I think the other half is about to stroll in the middle of my live stream again, but we'll keep this thing moving. I hope you guys are all well. Omar, I see you. Mace, I see you. Big up Justice. Melina, I see you too. Sorry, Miss Melina out here. What's going on? Is that the real Melina or is that a fake Melina? That's the real question. But yes, let's get it going. Joanne, I see you too. Carl, I see you too. All right, let's get it going. Let's talk about the story. If you notice, I changed my lead story last minute because I just thought, actually, this story is the more interesting story, and that is Icardi, Mauro Icardi. Mauro. Why did I struggle to say that name? Mauro Icardi is being linked to the move to Arsenal today. Inter Milan have more or less agreed terms with their star striker Martinez. And obviously, I think it's kind of a worst kept secret that he's off to Barcelona. I think it's a deal in the region of about 80 million. But Inter don't want him to spend any of that 80 million. I think they're looking at Icardi like, boy, this is a headache that we don't really want. And maybe we can make it work to our advantage. Which begs the question: well, if he's that good, why do they want to sell him? Icardi, we've been linked with a move for Icardi for a while. Probably the last 4 years or so, we've been linked to the move for him. Oh my gosh, I just realised my girlfriend's makeup or something. Flip's sake. um, so yeah, we've been linked with a move for him for about 4 years now, and he's someone who is a controversial character. He's a character in which Inter have had a lot of problems and general headaches with. But then again, they said the same thing about Aubameyang, and we ain't really had any headaches with them. I think it's important to know that once a player is happy, it doesn't really matter about his reputation per se. I think in terms of Icardi himself, do I like him as a player? I think he's a good player. I definitely am more impressed with him now than I was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, truth be told, I probably would have been on here not sure. When I started this channel about 3.5, 4 years ago, and I don't think Icardi ever came up then, to be fair, in terms of a question. But if I had to honestly answer, I would have been a bit unsure. And I definitely would have been unsure about Arsene Wenger getting the best out of him. In this particular situation, he's obviously matured as a player. Whether he's matured off the field is another question. But on the field as a player, he's gotten better and better. He's banged in a hell of a lot of goals for Paris Saint-Germain. For Paris Saint, well, he has, but he banged in a hell of a lot of goals for Inter Milan. Then Inter loaned him to PSG. And guess what? He went to PSG and ran the show over there. 27 years old, hell of a lot of goals. He likes holding up the ball. He's a cracking finisher. I don't necessarily think he's the best passer. I will say that. He's not the best passer in the world. But he does play that centre forward position extremely well. And he's still relatively in his prime, 27 years old. You've got to say, to be honest, there's not a lot about him I don't like. I don't think defensively he's that great, but he's also a striker. You know, yes, you always like your strikers to work as hard as everybody else in the pitch, but quite frankly, their job is to score goals. You know, for all of the criticism that you guys have about Lacazette, for example, he is the complete opposite to a Lacazette. In that, I think he's better at holding up the ball than Lacazette, even though I don't think Lacazette is particularly bad at it. But I think Icardi is better at it. This guy's a better finisher than Lacazette, but defensively, you're not going to get the work rate that Lacazette gives you. So this is where you do have to sacrifice a little bit. Then again, if you find a balanced team to build around him, does he need the work rate? This is someone who could potentially, I think, split the dressing room if Arteta doesn't get a handle on it quickly. So this might be one of them ones where if Aubameyang is definitely set to go, and he's definitely set to go to Inter Milan, then Arteta might need to just look into the situation and perhaps have a conversation with him and see if he's going to be right for the team. Talent-wise, to me, there's no doubt about it. And like I said, it's important to say, they said the same thing about Aubameyang. I remember when we were being linked with him, they were saying all sorts of stories about how he's a dressing room splitter, how he's a show-off, how he's this and that, and how, you know, the last couple of weeks when before his transfer to Arsenal, how he completely divided the dressing room, how he disrespected the coach. But then immediately after, there was a story about how him and the coach got on fine. It was him and the kind of head of football over there that hated each other. So I think it's all about kind of perspective. In my opinion, would I go for this? I remember one person asking me about this last week, about if this is a deal I would do. Honestly, yeah. I mean, the guy scores goals. For all those people talking about, oh, well, where would you replace the goals from? You've got a guy here that would actually replace goals. I mean, you got to give it to him. He went from one league to a completely different league and still banging goals, which actually gives me a little bit more confidence that he would do something over here. I think he's going to be a player that divides the fan base. I think if you love him, you're going to love him. And ultimately, if he scores goals and does his job, I think most of us will love him and most of us will defend him. I also feel like someone like Graham Souness will fucking hate him. I think it all really depends on what you think about a player like this. I have always said the same thing. I don't mind a confident player. Quite frankly, I don't mind a player who, listen, it ain't my life. I ain't your daddy. If you want to go and party the night away, that's your business. Just make sure that come Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, whenever it is we play, you turn the fuck up. That's all I care about as a fan. Other than that, I don't really care. Like, if you notice, unless I'm in a proper bantering mood, I never really talk about the way Hector Bellerin dresses. I couldn't give a fuck if he wears 15 earrings and wears his hair low down to his bum. I couldn't care less. But the reason that people point shit out like that is because the man doesn't turn up on the pitch. Now, personally, I think Aubameyang's haircut is dead. Now, I know I'm one to talk, but I'm on lockdown right now, so I can talk this talk. I think his haircut is dead right now. Oh, right now. It's been like that for a while. But ain't no one talking about his hairpiece because you know what? Ultimately, the boy bangs goals in. Again, same thing with Mane, Sadio Mane. People talk about his hair jokingly, right? I guarantee those people are not Liverpool fans. They could not give a rat's ass if Mane is wearing pubic hair on his head. As long as the guy is doing what he's doing every single week, who cares? So I think from my perspective, I'd like to see this deal happen. I think it's a good solution. It helps them out. It helps us out. He's a younger player. He's a player that actually brings a different dimension to the team. You know, this is not a guy who I would say is heavily reliant on his pace. This is a guy who's more reliant on his finishing ability and his ability to hold up the ball. Arguably, it's the type of player we need, the type of striker we need. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the chat room. Leave it in the comments. Excuse me. I'm trying not to burp on air. So if you ever see me doing this, I'm trying to suppress a burp. Anyway, let's go through it. Do I rate Ighalo? I think he's all right. even for Nigeria, he's only okay. But anyway, guys, as I go through these stories, please do stick a like on this video. Crush that like button for me and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, let's talk about my next story. I just realized something. You guys can't see the ticker. That should not be the case. Let me just go fix that right now. Now you can see it. Okay, let's talk about my story that I was going to go with, and that is Henrik Mkhitaryan's agent who's come out, Mino, who I can't pronounce the second name because I completely have forgotten the second name because I'm an idiot. Mino Raiola, that's the one. Mino Raiola has come out today, and I'm gonna lie, this whole situation sounds goofy as fuck, right? So obviously, I came with the story yesterday that Henrik Mkhitaryan has essentially demanded a move from Arsenal, and I must admit, I was surprised. I didn't understand why he would be so bold, but I was also very pleased because, on the other hand, quite frankly, we need that boy to leave. We need his wages off the books, and if this is the only way to do that, so be it. So it was interesting, the timing, because obviously this came off the back of Arteta's comments on Tuesday about how he doesn't want anyone here who doesn't want to play for Arsenal. And to be honest, everything Arteta said was on point. The only problem is I've heard this Arteta type of words before, and it doesn't usually transpire all the way through. But I digress. And then literally straight after, Mkhitaryan decides, actually, you know what? My time in London's done, and I want you guys to sort out a move. Now, the quote was very brief. It clearly didn't look like a quote that had ran through PR or something. It did seem like an almost borderline aggressive approach, and it doesn't seem like it was in Mkhitaryan's wheelhouse. But I kind of just, to be honest, I kind of respected it, even though I want them to go. I was just like, all right, cool. Arsenal, over to you, was kind of my attitude. But now, today, Mino Raiola has come out, which is the super agent for most people. He's one of the biggest super agents out there. He came out and he basically said that it was lies, and called the whole thing fake news. And he said that he wasn't pushing to leave Arsenal, or he never has asked Arsenal to leave. That he would like to stay at Roma, but he's never asked Arsenal to leave. Then Zlatan came out, which I thought was hilarious. Zlatan came out, but I don't know. I don't know if Zlatan just thought it was a joke, but from my perspective, I'd be kind of vexed if Zlatan did this. He basically quote tweeted Mino Raiola's tweet denying the rumours and said, actually, this is true news. And there's nothing wrong with this news leaking now or something like that, because Mino Raiola's whole statement was that he felt that essentially he was getting at that this would not be the time for Mkhitaryan to say such a thing. And Zlatan was like, this is the perfect time. This is true news. And I just thought, why would Zlatan say that? Oh, gosh, Zlatan is a joker. I'll tell you, just one of Arsene Wenger's bigger regrets that he didn't sign him, because he just feels like a player I would have loved from the get-go. He literally gives no shits. He's been like that his whole career, and obviously his later career, he's still like that. Absolutely gives no shits. So yeah, I don't know what this essentially means. I think personally, the whole thing has been a bit mismanaged. I can see why Mino would want to distance himself, because it doesn't leave a lot of room for negotiation with Roma. You know, from his perspective, he needs to be paid. And if Mkhitaryan is sat there saying, I'm desperate to join the club, Roma knows that now. So they're kind of like, well, we're in pole position to to get this guy. It's not a case now that we're trying to convince him to leave London. He said he wants to leave London. So now you need to be easy with the money that you're demanding, because now we know he wants to come to us. We ain't in a hurry. Added to the fact that Roma have already said to Arsenal that, listen, we ain't got no problem paying you 10 million, but what you need to do for the next 18 months is that the wages he's on, you need to match that. You need to basically contribute to that, because we want to keep him on his current wages that he's on with Arsenal. And then when his contract comes to an end, which I think is January 2022, I think it is. When that comes to an end, then we'll take over those wages. But at this moment in time, you need to contribute to it. So Arsenal, no. So I think that is the stumbling block to the deal, which I can understand, because from Arsenal's perspective, if we're selling the player, we're selling the player. We don't need this extra bullshit. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think, I guess, is my question. What would you do in this Mkhitaryan situation? I think there's no smoke without fire. I don't, like I said, I think the whole thing generally has probably been a little bit mismanaged by all three parties in this situation. But it'll be interesting to see how Mino gets a handle on this situation. I hope he goes. The one thing I'm hoping is that I don't see some stupid a quote from Mikel Arteta saying, no, Mkhitaryan can still save his Arsenal future. No. None of that shit. Just get him off the books and move him the fuck on. That's my hope and desire from this situation. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. All right, let's talk about. Should we talk about Kamara? Kamara from Marseille. He is a 20-year-old centre back that Man City have been heavily linked with pretty much for the last 3-4 weeks. He's a player I've kept an eye on because a number of you guys have essentially told me to keep an eye on him. Apparently, he's a pretty good guy, a pretty good kid, operates very well in the French league level. And he's someone who potentially could be linked with a move to Man City. I don't know how France are doing it at the moment. They have a lot of talented French centre backs. When you really take a step back and think about it, you know, they've got Upamecano, they've got Canute, they've got this kid apparently. There's a few others I know I'm missing, a few obvious people that I know I'm missing. They seem to have a long list of talented players that they just seem to be able to call on. But it'll be interesting to see if Man City ends up going for this kid. So you're probably sat there thinking, all right, why are you talking about a Man City target? Well, Arsenal have become another one of those teams, one of those latest teams to be linked to Kamara. So it'll be interesting to see if we get him. He's valued at 28 million, which on the one hand is not crazy if he's good enough. On the other hand, you think to yourself, 20 years old, he's another raw talent. We've already got one of those raw talents in Saliba. We probably need someone with at least a little bit more experience than that. That's why I can understand the Gabriel link, because, you know, he's 22, so he's still young, but he's still got a little more experience. You know, he's played at a higher level than a Saliba. You know, I personally, you guys know, my choice would be Tar. I think Tar would be the perfect partner, perfect foil for Saliba. That would be my personal choice. But yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see who we end up going with. Gosh, that's another French defender. What's his name? From West Ham, Diop. Is Diop French? Gosh, now I'm doubting myself. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Okay, have I talked about every other story I wanted to talk about? Zlatan, Arsenal being linked with a late move for City target. Yeah, I've talked about that. Oh, and the Santi news. Santi. Oh, and I'll talk about Stan as well. Santi. So Santi News has come out today that he's reiterated his desire to join Arsenal as a coach. And my perspective on this is, yeah, go for it. Let's do it tomorrow if we can. I think from my perspective, I can understand why Santi would want to do that. I think there are only two clubs he'd want to do that for. I'm guessing Villarreal would be one, but Arsenal would probably be the main one. He spent the most successful time of his career with Arsenal. It makes a lot of sense. Him and Mikel Arteta apparently were proper good friends. To me, I think that makes a lot of logical choice. He said that the only two roles that he'd be interested in if he came to Arsenal would be a coach and a football director. I don't think a football director would be appropriate for Santi. No disrespect to him, but I think a coach would make a lot of more sense to me. Lord knows we have midfielders that could benefit with Santi at the helm of the coaching. I'm thinking of people like Ainsley Maitland-Niles if he's to stay with us. I'm thinking of people like Joe Willock. I'm thinking of people like Emil Smith-Rowe. Those guys would get so much out of Santi being there. Heck, even Granit Xhaka at this point. Even Granit Xhaka at this point. I mean, Granit Xhaka plays his old position. So I say bring him on. But again, what do you guys think? Let me know. All right, and let's talk about Stan. I'm going to talk about this one real quick. I didn't want to make this a lead story, even though I could have done. I see Lee talking about it today. Funny enough, me and Lee were talking about this story on WhatsApp this morning. And my whole view on this is this, and I know people think I've done a complete 180 with the Stan thing. And I guess maybe to a certain extent I have for this situation. For this situation, I'm completely understanding of him not necessarily spending money. And I'm more sympathetic, empathetic, whatever, however you want to put it, to this particular situation. This is such, I don't think people realize how much of an impact this whole coronavirus thing is going to be. Now, I watched the news today and they were talking about the fact that the Bank of England think we're going to go, as in the UK that is, that we're going to go into the deepest of recessions as a result of this. So it's a scary time for a lot of people. I just think people are on cloud cuckoo land when they say, "Oh well, Stan should absorb it all," and people will say that now, particularly off the back of this week, because Stan has announced that he's now worth 8.1 billion. That's the short end of it. Apparently, he made $322 million between January and April, which is quite remarkable considering January and April this month. I can't imagine there's a lot of businesses making that type of money. First of all, there's two things. Firstly, I don't begrudge any man trying to make money, trying to run his business as normal in a situation where, quite frankly, the odds are against him making any type of profit. I don't begrudge it. I don't begrudge it. Secondly, we're not the only freaking team he has. And I think we ain't the only team he has. This guy got a £2 billion stadium to pay for. Now, you're probably sat there saying, "Oh, well, I don't really care. My priority is Arsenal." Cool. But he cares. He cares. He's spending £2 billion on a stadium. He's going to need some of that 323 million to pay for that, And I think thirdly, the other thing people were saying is, "Oh, well, he said he was going to inject cash into the club." First of all, he said that 2 weeks ago. Give him a second. Give him a second. That's not the way spending works. Give him a second. Thirdly, to my knowledge, it's the 7th of May, and I ain't heard anyone being furloughed yet. Have you? So I think, shut up. Sorry. Sorry. I ain't heard anyone being furloughed yet. Have you? So I think from my perspective, everyone just needs to just calm down a little bit. There ain't gonna be a lot of clubs spending a lot of money. I think people are gonna be genuinely shocked how quiet it is this summer. And I appreciate the irony of me saying that because I know I put a lot of transfer stories up there. But I put a lot of transfer stories up there because for me, I want a better idea of what Arsenal are going to do and how creative they're going to be. Now, we've already seen Raul Sanelli come out today, and he basically said that there's no doubt. I mean, to me, he didn't say anything that was a surprise to me. He said that, there's no doubt about it that the coronavirus situation has dramatically changed their plans for the transfer window. And it would do. It absolutely would do. I'm sure they wouldn't want to lose, for example, up to 6 players. In a way, if that is the bargain for bringing in quality, let's sell 6 players. We needed to sell a lot of deadwood. Personally, I think we need to sell more than 6 players. But in my opinion and from my perspective, I'm at the point now where I'm just like, all right, Stan, for me, you get somewhat of a pass this summer because there are a lot of businesses that are going to struggle. There are a lot of businesses that are going to struggle. And guess what? There are a lot of millionaires that own a lot of businesses, and a lot of businesses are going under due to those millionaires. And guess what? They can't afford to bail all these businesses out. It'd be another thing completely if we were the only business or only sports franchise that Stan Kroenke had. Then I would understand what some people are saying. But I think from my perspective, we're not talking about. I have a lot of grievances with Stan Kroenke over how long he employed Wenger in place, how long it took to fix that situation, the fact that he's put Mikel Arteta, a novice, in place to fix the situation, the fact that he's mismanaged a lot of different situations. To me, these are the things I have grievances over. Honestly, spending money ain't really one of them. Especially when you think of the fact that we spent 72 million last summer on one signing. Yeah, all right, it's going to be paid over the course of a few years, but still, to me, that is evidence that the man spends something. So I think I'm at the point now where I'm just like, the corona thing, I get it. I totally get it. And maybe it's due to the fact that, I work in a profession where we're so closely managing situations because of this coronavirus that I understand and I totally get it. And maybe that's what's given me more of an understanding on Stan Kroenke's situation. But if you're expecting me to crap all over him because I have in the past, this ain't gonna be the thing I crap all over him about. Like I said, I have other grievances with him. But spending money this summer will not be one of them. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below as you always do. Leave it in the chat room. It is 7:29 p.m. as I'm live and I record this. So we do 15 minutes and I'm out. But do me a favor, while I do that, please do crush the like button of this video. There is no doubt about it that when you get on your ting, it helps so much later on in terms of the views. And also interaction. Comment as much as possible, and I'll be ready to jump on those comments as and when I see them. Also subscribe. My numbers are slowly starting to creep up again, which is great. Let's continue that happening. Every single day I drop a video for you guys. Every single day. So make sure you enjoy those. Let's do some quick promos before we get back to the chat room. The Combat Show. That is where I discuss MMA. That is where I discuss boxing. If you notice, I now don't answer questions on the channel for that. Because the reason is I have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to that. We run every single Friday. Not only do we run every single Friday, the thing that I forget to promote is that once a show happens, then me, Ola, and Will review that show every single Sunday evening. Guess what we're doing? So that means we're doing 2 shows this week. One on Friday, one on Sunday, just to review the show. it's going to be the first sport back after all this COVID stuff. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Make sure you don't miss out. This Friday, 9:30, the Combat Show. Link is in the description right now. Go subscribe to it if you haven't already. Do not miss us because we're going to be discussing 249. We're going to be discussing some interesting fantasy matchups that have been talked about this week, namely John Fury versus Mike Tyson, like today's Mike Tyson. So we'll break that down. We'll break down how we think that fight would go. Also, there was some news about the fact that Triple G has turned down a third fight with Canelo for now. What does that mean? We will break that down as well. So make sure you catch us tomorrow, literally Friday tomorrow. It's bank holiday as well, so I don't want to hear no excuses. We'll be ready. So make sure you come catch us, and we will be live 9:30 tomorrow night. I think that's it for all the plugs. So let's get going. Make sure you hit a like button, as my guy Liverpool, you never walk alone, has said. And let's get back into the chat. I know I did. I've just seen that now. I'll correct that, Carl. I'll correct that. I've just seen that now. Santi was still walking to our first chick. Real talk. Real talk. Capone, I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. I see. Oh yeah, Icardi. I've just seen that. Let me. Can I quickly fix that? Quickly fix that. All right. Don't worry. If he becomes an Arsenal player, I'll make sure I spell it right. Let me fix that because it is bothering me now. Go back into the comments. Zeko. Big up, big Diesel in the house. So another one I got to get on the podcast at some point. Thank you. I told you spelled Uber's name right. Cheeky bastard. Do you like the Football Italia theme tune from the 90s? Who doesn't? You grew up in the 90s. You watched that shit. Mr. Ford, I hope you're well, my bro. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Will you be watching the Bundesliga when it comes back, Chin? The one thing I've not spoken to Lee about, I might want to do a watch along and leave for the Bundesliga. I just let that secret out. So watch this space. Leno or I don't know the other guys, so I'm gonna have to go Leno. I'll confess, I will never bullshit you guys. Chick, am I working today? Yep. Not only am I working today, I still got one more email to send. I've almost finished that email there. And Chig keeping it real as always. Roy the boy, I haven't seen Roy in ages. I hope you're well, guy. I hope you're well. Oh, by the way, for people asking, so I'm going to start to record some material today for Cooking with Chig. So I owe you guys one free one. So I'm going to put one on the channel at some point soon. Make sure you look out for that. But then I've also told you I'm going to put some stuff on the members stream. So when I set up my membership, which I should do this weekend, you're going to start to see some material for me for those members. So make sure you keep a lookout for that. I'm going to do a couple of subscriber type or member type shows as well. where I literally just have people on just to kick it, really. Kick it, see what you lot are saying. I'm going to do cooking stuff on there, and I'm also going to do some FIFA streams on there. I may even do some football manager stuff on there because people have been calling for that as well. So, material, so much content coming at you guys, so much. Goodness gracious. Chig, I'll be supporting RB Leipzig. this month, everybody becomes experts in the Bundesliga. Do you know what I mean? Do I rate Guendouzi? I don't hate Guendouzi the way a lot of you guys do. I certainly understand the frustration. And I will say this for Guendouzi, if he stays this summer, and I won't tell you if he's on my chopping block or not, but if he stays this summer, for me, it's his last season, if he's to stay. So that. Do you agree with me as well, Chig, that this season probably won't come back? I think it. Ask me that again on Monday because I think a lot of it depends on what Boris says on Sunday. So ask me that question again on Monday. Oh gosh. Listen. Since the time before time began, there has been only one debate: who has the best jollof rice, Nigerians or Ghanaians? I don't know about no Gambian jollof rice. That's the only debate. I ain't tried Ghanaian jollof rice either. So I'm a real one with it. Capone, I've told you this before, brother. I would love to have him on. Reach out to him. Reach out to him. There is my combat show partner in crime, my brother from another mother, my Nigerian brother from the wrong side of the town. Black Scorpion, aka Ola. Give him some love, brother. Give him some love. The chat room already did. Ola, if you're watching this, when we finally do a football podcast, I'm having my man on with me, Diesel. So if you don't know him, get to know him. I'm going to have you guys on together at some point. Ghana chick, get out of here. Get out of here. Well, I should put both of you on timeout for that nonsense. I should put both of you on timeout for that nonsense. Get out of here. Only one jollof rice. Brother, tell them, brother. Talk about Ghanaian jollof rice all day long. I need to time out lots of people, boy. I'm coming on to looking forward to that chick. Of course, Steez, of course. Of course, brother. I will come on the bro, how are you? Mom, forget all that. How are you? I hope you're okay. Forget all that. Sorry, my dog forgets I'm in certain rooms. So when she hears me talking, she starts barking. It's me. Shut up. Relax. She knows I'm here now. Chig is killing me. Chig, who would I be supporting in the Bundesliga? No one. I'm just watching football for watching football. I ain't supporting anyone. Oh, TD Shifts in the house. I ain't seen TD in ages. I ain't seen him in ages. But TD's talking that wild shit if he thinks Jamaica do better jollof rice than us. You lot do have nice food. No doubt about it. You ain't fucking with our jollof rice. So stop that. You need education, Diesel. You need an education on rice. You should do a quiz night soon. If I do a quiz night soon, Should I do it on Arsenal or should I do it on something you? It's funny you should say that. I have to arrange a work one for next week, so I'm going to be in the real quiz master mood. So I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. I just didn't want to jump on Lee's idea, but I could do that. But it won't be about Arsenal because everyone's doing one about Arsenal. You have to be able to say something else. Shut up. You're winding her up, innit? I'm born in London, but Ghana's parents, jollof rice. I was the sister of celery hun. No, brother. I can't believe people are crazy. This Ghana had the best jollof rice nonsense. Um, Yo, Chig, I'll be up for a collab video. So just to clarify, guys, the collab video wouldn't be on YouTube. It would be on the member stream only. So that member stream will be set up. It's not going to be a crazy price. Don't worry about it. It'll literally just be set up, and it will just be for that, right? And it's literally just to kick it. You know me. I like my little intimate setup. So just kick it. We chill. We relax. We talk. No drama. No nothing. Ain't gonna be no tier system or nothing like that. Just to kick it. Shane, I agree, brother. I agree. When I saw the story, I was like, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Especially because the guy scores goals. I know he's a bit of a handful off the field, but he scores goals. And who knows if Arteta is this brilliant man manager like people paint him out to be? Maybe Arteta can do something with his character off the field. But tell them. This is the one time that Ebos and Eurobars have to work together when it comes to defending our shit. Tell them. Chig, imagine one time Sainsbury's was selling jollof rice. And I worked there, and I was going on man's live break. You saw it, and it looked like it had water. Oh, man like cap. Man like cap. Cracks me up. Do a football one, not an Arsenal one. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Because you don't want to do one completely not on football. Otherwise, it might alienate people. So you're right. I might do that one. Icardi's Schwarzschild. Oh, I like him. I like him a lot. Am I okay, Chick? I'm all right, brother. I hope you're well, Mr. Ford. Nimsy. Oh gosh, easy, brother. Easy. Um, all I could tell your favorite is pounded yam and a goosey soup, innit? You look like the type to like. Capone, what's wrong with that? That's my favorite meal right there. What's wrong with that? Chig, you can have Lascelles if you want him. I'll drive him there personally. Do you know what? I'm going to highlight your comment. I'm going to highlight your comment. Do you remember, guys, when I was telling you Lascelles weren't all that? And I had about a good 6 or 7 comments who were like, what, are you mad? I'll take Lascelles in a heartbeat. I remember people like Majib Ahmed. Sorry, Majib. I was calling you out because I remember your name specifically. Majib Ahmed. Um, I don't think Oliver Fourway was one of them. I remember there were a few people that were saying, "Oh, what are you talking about, Chip? You know, I thought you said you know defenders. He's good. Do you remember?" And I'm like, "What have you seen that I'm not seeing in Lascelles?" This is a Newcastle fan telling you this shit now. This is a Newcastle fan saying that Lascelles ain't good enough. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. I'm glad. I am glad. Chig knows defenders. Chig knows defenders. Ben knows. Okay, good, 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 good. Keep me updated, Ben. Gary, sorry. Keep me updated. I done said I don't. I remember having an argument with a few people. Like the sales ain't good. Like, what are you lot talking about? Of course, brother. Of course, brother. And that's just a little part of our culture right there. I meant, would you up between me and you for a video? Brother, of course, TD. Listen, you're one of the vets out here. You're one of the vets. So I'm all for taking on people that I feel like are trustworthy, and that want to kick it and do a show. So like your Gary Robinsons and you guys, and because I've known you guys for a while. You know, your VPs, for example. You know, I've known you guys for a bit. Who's Lascelles, you know? Let me ask you this, Carl. Are you excited? Are you excited? In fact, I think I asked you that the other day. You're still a little bit worried, weren't you? Do you rate Mari, chick? I'm not seeing enough of him. And that's the truth. From what I saw against Portsmouth, I'm right, he didn't have a complete shit show, but it was also against Portsmouth. I'd be shocked if he did. You know, and I think people are too gassed by him. In terms of what I know of him, apparently he's all right. He's all right. He's all right. But to me, he's more of someone that would be a good backup to the actual guy that you want. And obviously, our economic situation means that if we go for Mari, that's the guy we're going for as a centre back. And that makes me feel a little uncomfortable. So, yeah. Um, Same thing. I ain't seen a lot of him still. You need some Gambian jollof rice. Brother, you need some Nigerian jollof rice. That's what you need. Exactly. He doesn't. He really doesn't. He's funnily enough, I still kept him in my career mode squad, and I'm in October now, my first season. But admittedly, I've not played it in about a week or so. And he's okay, but I have like four other defenders before I even think about Mari, to be honest. So he doesn't get a lot of game time with me. So it's safe to say I'm not going to buy him. He's a backup to the guy that you want. At best, he's first choice. I did hear a rumor yesterday that Arteta still likes Rob Holding, and the whole reason that he's not played Rob Holding is because he wants to slowly guide him back to the first. I think that's bullshit. I think he's selling him all day long. Chig, would I take in a? I would. I like him as a player. He's not my first choice. My first choice is Jonathan Tah, but I like him as a player. There's three defenders I'd be genuinely happy with: him, Tah, and Upamecano. Um, Diop, I like, but I don't like for that price. Would you play? I will. But let me get better first because he's getting better. Let me get better. Let me get better. Uh, I knew you were going to ask about Diop. That's why I answered that. I answered it already. Chig, very excited. I can't get my hopes up. It's happened too many times and it ends up with us being let down. Yeah, you asked me the other day. I remembered. That's why I checked myself. I remembered. Holding is overrated. We can get 20 to 25 mil. I'd sell him, to be honest. I'd sell him. And you guys know I like Chambers. I'd sell Chambers too, to be honest. Yeah, I am. Why do you think I'm going to head off in 5 minutes, bro? Me and the other half are going to get ready for the clap. So, yeah, I am. Brother, my other half is a key worker like you, brother. Chig, I tried all three and I can't change sides after eating Jamaica rice. Fair play, JTD, fair play. You should play expressions. I don't know because Lee beats me and he got smoked by expressions. So that doesn't bode well for me. My guy, look at my guy. Look at my guy right here. All right, 4 more minutes and I'm out of here, guys. One more plug for everything. Chig Flicks, the movie channel. The link is in the description below. I did, as promised, 2 reviews that are dropped on there. Go and check them out. One was a review on one of my favorite TV shows ever. So make sure you check that out. And another was about a shitty movie. So go check that out. And then the combat show. You see Ola active in the chat room. Me, Ola, and Will. I will have Will on on a football capacity at some point. By the way, I will be doing that. That will be interesting. Me, Will, and Ola will be kicking it when United do play Arsenal. That will be an interesting tussle. Heck, just to throw a spanner in there, I might also bring put Stell on, then make it a nice even 2 versus 2. But yeah, make sure you catch that out. It's always lively when us 3 get together for a show. Make sure you check that out. The combat show link is in the description, and subscribe to this. One show every single day I drop on here, so make sure you catch that out. I'm almost getting as consistent as Lee. Don't get me wrong, I still got a ways to go, but I'm almost getting as consistent as Lee. And Ola, do you want to do a football podcast, me, you, and Diesel, on Sunday? I've been promising these lot for ages, and we keep and yes, it's predominantly my fault. I keep fucking them over. I also got to ask Diesel, who's also in the chat room. So first of all, Ola, because you're the hardest out of us 3 to get locked down, keeping in mind we're also doing a combat show review. Can I get you locked down Sunday evening for a Greener Eagle Eye podcast? Let me know. Diesel, let me know the same. We'll arrange this in front of people right down now so that we have it locked in. Chig, do you rate Maximum? Nah. I'll be honest. I get why people like him. He's not for me. He's a bit lightweight for me. I need to see more from him. I need to see more from him. I'm good for Sunday, gents. All right. So Black Scorps is on you now, brother. It's on you now, brother. Ola would probably pattern the tin shit. Yes, you can. All right. So here's what we're going to do, guys. You've heard it here first. Me, Ola, Diesel, 9 o'clock Sunday, we'll go live and do a podcast. Me, Ola, and Diesel. All right? Anything Arsenal we're going to talk about. I'm going to put some sort of agenda together so we're not just sat there like starfishes. And you can literally throw us any question you like. We'll do a genuine, old school, Gooner Eagle Eye podcast with us 3. And make sure you keep that locked. You know how we do when we do podcasts. We keep it nice, we keep it light, and we keep it controversial. So make sure you stick around for that. Chig, do I rate Canute? I do wonder if this is a genuine Liverpool you never walk alone. Because how can you watch me and ask this question? Everyone hit the like. Yes, please. Good Eagle Eye. Someone got deluded. Got deluded dinner with Danny Welbeck. Oh, he did something with Danny Welbeck. Okay. It's good for him. It's a good result. Are Arsenal a big club? I'll tell you what, I'm going to pose that as my very first question to the boys on Sunday. How about that? It's my very first question. So make sure you join us on Sunday. Sunday night, UK time, 9 p.m. I know Omar already is thinking, flipping heck, 9 p.m. on a Sunday. What are you doing to me, man? That's 11 o'clock over here. 9 p.m. Sunday, make sure you don't miss us. It'll be Ola, Diesel, myself, a first-time trio combination. So you guys should like it. And who knows? Keep it on the down low. I may try and get Lee Gunner on as well. Him and Expressions and Troops on your footy podcast with a comedy gold. I wouldn't get a word in edgeways. Are you kidding me? How do you think Salah would do in his first season? Do you know what? I'll close it out with this because I don't want to miss the NHS clap. Jahid, for me, I think he'll do okay. I think he's going to disappoint in certain games. I think he'll do well in certain games. What I want is for the Arsenal fan base to give this kid time to develop. Let's not castrate him if he makes a mistake, but let's not also completely suck the absolute nuts off him if he does well in his first couple of games. Everybody just keep it nice and light. The boy has to develop. Yes, he's got the potential. I like him. He's got the potential. But let's not treat him like the actual Varane if he has a couple of good games. Let's just see what we've got. I know that's going to fall on deaf ears, but I'm going to say it anyway. All right, guys. I am up out of here. Take care. Please do crush that like button. I hope you liked the longer show. I know I owed you guys that. I'll be back again tomorrow. And the combat show tomorrow. Do not miss it. All right. I'm out of here. Take care. Peace. Diesel, Ola. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.